Hi, everyone. Thank you for taking a moment to join us to learn more about our Spanish dual language immersion program. We have our partner here, Irene Zamora from Participate Learning, who will be presenting alongside myself. I'm Alan Zamansky, Program Choice Coordinator for Cabarrus County Schools. We hope that you can glean some information that will help you make a decision for your incoming kindergarten or first grade, potentially, student to join our dual language immersion program. So at that, I'm going to turn it over to Irene, who will start us off with some information about the program.
Awesome. Thank you so much, Alan. And let's get started by doing a quick overview of this program. So we are going to talk about right now what is a dual language program first things first. Also the benefits of this program. Should you choose DLI for your kid? We will see. We're going to go over a little bit of the data in dual language. Then the model that we currently have at Cabarrus County, the support that we provide, there you go. The teacher profiles first before the support that we provide. The teacher profiles, a little bit of what's about those teachers that makes them a good fit for this program, and the program support, the partnership that we have with Cabarrus County and how we support this program, along with some specific information from the district. So let's get started. What is a dual language program? So as you can see in your screen, the first image is going to show how to learn a foreign language in isolation. So anyone can learn the grammar, the vocabulary, the functions, or even the culture and the traditions in a specific language, right? As you can see in the screen. And then the other side of the screen, the right image, is going to show how both literacy and content are taught in immersion. As a result, students, you see, that's the immersion. So as a result, students internalize that grammar, that vocabulary, those functions and that culture, and develop other cognitive benefits. In addition, we will talk about those in a minute in depth, by learning the content through a language and learning the language through that content. So that is the dual language program. And what are the benefits of that dual language education? Well, first of all, the performance on standardized standards. So all groups of dual language students score higher, including students from any range from a high range of socioeconomic and ethnic backgrounds, as well as with diverse cognitive and linguistic abilities. So consistently performing better on standardized standards. Also, the cognitive development. That means that dual language students typically develop greater cognitive flexibility. They demonstrate increased attention, increased memory. They have superior problem-solving skills, and they have an enhanced understanding of their own primary language, in addition to learning another language, which is pretty cool. Another benefit is the transfer of those literacy skills. That goes a little bit along with that enhanced understanding of the primary language. So the research in linguistic universals shows some common features in all human language structures, and the cognitive and language development occurs simultaneously, and proves a second language acquisition as a critical stage that falls on the elementary years. So students can apply structures and patterns from their own native language to the second one and gradually figure out that second language. That means that even though for you as an adult or for me as an adult, it will be almost impossible. I'm not going to say impossible because nothing is impossible, but very hard to be immersed in a new language, and very frustrating and complicated. The key moment and the cognitive moment of the age of the students in elementary is the moment for them to learn a second language. They are ready to do that transfer of literacy skills. We are not so ready. We're too comfortable and too used to our own native language to be able to learn a second one at this point. It will make it very, very difficult compared to the elementary students. Another benefit is that the student engagement and the attendance of the students is consistently higher as well. So the attendance, not only the attendance rates, but also the dropout rates are also lower. The attendance rates are higher, the dropout rates are lower compared to regular programs. Why? Because of the high engagement that is related to the interest and to the challenge of this type of program in both language and academics. Another benefit would be the intercultural competency, and that goes along with the teacher profiles that we were going to talk about a little bit later. So dual language students are usually more aware and generally show more positive attitudes towards other cultures and appreciation of other people, other types of people, diversity and respect for others and for other cultures. Another benefit would be that DLI students are obviously better prepared for the global community and job market, since they know a second language and they have all those other benefits that we just discussed that you can see in your screen. All right, moving on. So to the question, is dual language right for my child? Should you choose it for your child? Well, the answer, after all the benefits that we've seen, is obviously yes. I don't know if you can see it in your screen. There you go. Why? Some of the reasons are to become bilingual and biliterate. That means proficient in both a first and a second language. To enhance that cognitive development. That means the problem solving, the risk taking, the critical thinking. To increase mastery of the curriculum and reach deeper levels of knowledge. Again, not only in the language, but also in that content, in that curriculum. To significantly raise the scores in achievement tests. To, you cannot see it in the screen. There you go. To improve motivation and that attendance through that student engagement that we were talking about earlier. To improve the chances of scholarships in higher education. To develop open-minded citizens who are more tolerant, they're culturally sensitive, and they are curious towards the world, and also eager to travel abroad, which again, I think it's a very nice characteristic to have and to develop, and to be prepared for a global society, for for all the diverse workplaces, and for the job market of the future. All right.
I have to jump in here, Irene, and note that I like to tell people that even as the person who's responsible for 31 different program schools in this county and helps, support all of those, my kindergartner will be entering out one of our dual language programs next year, and I'm super excited. And these, cognitive benefits are one of the biggest reasons for me as a parent.
Amazing. Thank you for adding that. I should add, also making that personal connection, that I am a dual language student myself back in my country. So my second language is English. My first language is Spanish. I'm from Spain. And I can definitely, I'm a fierce advocate for this program just because I do know it works and it has opened a lot of doors for me. All right, let's move on to the growth of dual language programs. So these are the numbers in our programs at Participate Learning, not only Cabarrus County, but you can see how the DLI programs in the US have been growing exponentially in the past decade. And the prediction is that they will continue to grow. So why? Because research across the US shows that these programs are more successful than regular programs for all groups, races, and ethnicities. And a little bit more of data. This is the latest data that we have from Participate students that shows how they outperform peers on EOGs across the state. This is the latest study conducted by a third party that we currently have. So as you can see, the dark blue is North Carolina schools. The brighter blue is Participate Learning, and that baby blue is non-Participate Learning programs. So you can see how they overscore in math and reading consistently, regardless of that race or ethnicity. And some trends by grade level that show a significant difference when comparing traditional and regular programs with dual language programs again. So the bright blue is the dual language programs, and the dark blue is the traditional programs. In third, fourth, and fifth, both in English language arts, that's reading, and math, they consistently overscore those regular programs. So just numbers just talk, they speak by themselves. And a little bit of data on Apple results. Apple is a language proficiency test that is based on the ACTFL standards. ACTFL is the American Council of Teaching Foreign Languages. And that's a test that we provide for those students in the program. And there's some DPI exit scores that you can see right here. The Department of Public Instruction shows that's the expectation, the exit scores. And these are the immersion scores in the different skills, which are the listening, the reading, the interpersonal, which is like the conversation. So both listening and speaking at the same time, and the interpersonal speaking and the presentational writing. So regardless of the expectation on the different areas or the different skills, language skills, the immersion scores are consistently higher than what's expected from the Department of Public Instruction. And let's talk a little bit about the model that we have here at Cabarrus County. First of all, there are 3 components of the model, which is the language, the curriculum, and the culture. Regarding the language, we are going to have successful students that are fluent and bilingual in 2 languages. They're bilingual and biliterate. And this comes with positive and rigorous academic language experience across the board. Regarding the curriculum, you have state standards in math, science, and social studies. They achieve that mastery of grade level literacy and academic targets across 2 languages. Doesn't matter that it's a second language. We're still aligning to that curriculum, and we're still expecting that mastery of that grade level. And regarding the culture, again, we have tolerant students that are open-minded, that are culturally sensitive, that are citizens of the world, right? Culturally aware. They're curious about what's happening, that we are not only in this little bubble of Cabarrus County or Charlotte or North Carolina or even the United States. There's more out there, and that brings that curiosity to them. And of course, again, that global citizenship also prepares them and makes them ready for the global job market. And specifically about the 2-way immersion, which is that 50-50 model that we have in all our 6 schools in Cabarrus County. So 50-50 means that half of the instructional time happens in English and half of the instructional time happens in Spanish. As you can see in your screen, you have that graph that shows the percentage of instruction in target language and the percentage of instruction in English, starting in kindergarten all the way to 5th grade. And this would be a typical schedule or a daily schedule in a 50-50 immersion classroom that has an A day and a B day, being the A day in one of the languages and the following day, the B day, in the other language. The only thing that remains always in English is the specials time. So every time they have PE, music, art, all of those are always in English. But as you can see, the darker blue here would be Spanish language arts, math, and science and social studies one day. And then the following day, they would go to English language arts, math in English, and science and social studies, which is the lighter blue, along with specials that happens every day in English. And moving on to teacher profiles. So as you can see in your screen, we have the yellow countries are countries of origin of the teachers that we provide. So all of those are Spanish-speaking countries, but China is also there highlighted because we also provide support and partner with Cabarrus County in Mandarin programs. In this case, for the Spanish programs, those teachers are fully certified. They have experience in their countries. Usually they have experience in dual language programs or some type of bilingual programs, or English as a second language program. So they do have that background and that experience, and they know those strategies and have the knowledge of how to teach a second language in partial immersion, in that two-way immersion, or in that full immersion. So very well prepared. They have that knowledge of what that second language acquisition process is, and they come to the country with a cultural exchange visa, and they're offered the position for 3 years initially, with a possible extension of 2 more years for a total of 5 years, which we've had a 6th year this year, just because of the pandemic and all of this. But it's usually those 5 years, because that type of visa, the cultural exchange, requires that they go back to their country and they do that exchange of culture with what they've learned here and what they've given here as well, because they do give a lot in those 5 years, not only the language, but also that culture. They are fully committed to teaching both things, culture and language. And when I say culture, I mean traditions. That means everything: food, celebrations, even weather, or geography, or the animals in their country, the nature in their country, their ecosystems in their country. Actually, one of the requirements that they have from the Department of State to maintain that visa is that they submit a report of what are they doing for their students to be more culturally aware and to get more, not only for the language, but also for that culture. And that involves not only the students, but the community. So cultural celebrations are very common in programs, in dual language programs, or in those schools that have those programs. And let's move on a little bit to that program support that we provide at Participate Learning. So as Alan was saying earlier, I am the person of contact for the programs at Cabarrus County. I do work very closely monitoring those programs, making sure it's being implemented with rigor, with fidelity. I do continuous visits to those schools. I do check-ins with the principals, with other administrators, with district people, and of course with teachers. I provide that instructional support as well, as you can see in your screen. I'm the program manager. That's precisely my title, program manager in education programs. I do those observations. I give them that support, that extra support if they need it. We have instructional assistants as well, and coaches that do more intensive support if needed. We do administrator support for testing, for planning, for scheduling, for providing materials, resources, anything that the program needs to be successful. We also, as you can see, do and provide support in those student recruitment events or those parent informational nights, as we are right here. We have brochures if you need them. We do sessions for questions and answers, and all kinds of virtual and in-person, when we can, events. We also provide specific teacher support for other things that are not instructional, right? That's the Participate Learning Ambassador support. So the adaptation process when they get to the country, the pre-screen that we do to make sure that they are effective teachers and that they are high quality teachers, but also, the relocation. We talk about the benefits with them. We talk about the culture shock when they adapt to the country, and we have an emergency line for them, and we make sure that they're well taken care of during the 5 years that they're here. We also have a curriculum and assessment. We were talking a little bit earlier about the Apple proficiency, language proficiency test. We do talk to our teachers and administrators about that data and how the students should be expected to perform, and we also provide that curriculum and those interventions if needed to the teachers. We give those tools to the teachers. And we have professional development opportunities for the teachers as well in a platform that we have where they can take courses and continue their learning with peers across North Carolina.
So next we had a couple of, you've heard plenty from us about how great the program is. We wanted to take just a second and let you hear it from someone else. So we have 2 short parent videos that we'd love to share with you to give you the perspective of some of our parents who have current students in the program.
Absolutely. All right, let's see if you can hear the audio. Hopefully you can.
Hello, everyone. My name is Laura Schoon, and my daughter just finished her kindergarten year at Irvin. She was in the kindergarten dual language program, and she thrived. I'm so thankful we chose to put her in this program. At the beginning of the school year, I was very concerned that she would be overwhelmed, and I was worried that learning a new language, in addition to needing to learn to read and math and everything involved in just starting school, would just be overwhelming for her. I was worried that it would just make her dislike learning and dislike education, but it was the opposite for her. I'm so thankful. Learning a second language just helped her to learn her primary language even better. I think that it was easier for her to learn to read and write in English because she was also learning to read in another language at the same time, and she could compare the languages a bit. I just think it helped her to understand language overall in general. She found the experience to be challenging and fulfilling and engaging. It was kind of like a game for her in some ways. And what each of her teachers, her main teacher and her second language teacher were doing only complemented the learning that she was doing. So, for example, it wasn't like more was being put on her plate, but it was just allowing her additional ways to learn what she needed to learn this year. And so she started the school year not knowing how to read, and now she can read and write and speak sentences in 2 languages. So I'm very thankful. She loves learning, she loves school, and she's learned so much, and it's only been a very positive experience. I would highly, highly recommend the dual language program at Irvin.
So we apologize that our video froze up just a little bit in there, but you got the audio, and so you got to hear that mom's perspective about her experience in dual language at Irvin. And then we have another parent perspective to share with you, a Spanish-speaking parent, because of course, as Irene mentioned, we do try to maintain about a 50% balance in our programs of native Spanish and native English speakers. And so we definitely want you to hear from both groups today.
Awesome. Let me try. I am not going to do full screen. See if that fixes the program of freezing. Sorry, because I didn't see it on my end. So I apologize. Let's try it.
Hola, buenas tardes. Mi nombre es Mariluz. Soy la mamá de Daniel. Estoy muy contenta y agradecida con la escuela Irving Elementary. Porque mi hijo, yo he visto en mi hijo muchos avances en cuestión del lenguaje, ha aprendido a leer muy rápido. Yo tengo poco tiempo de haber llegado a este país. Yo soy originaria de México, entonces a mi hijo al principio se le complicaba mucho el idioma, que es el inglés, pero gracias al apoyo de su maestra, al apoyo de esta escuela, él ha avanzado mucho. Lee muy bien en español y en inglés yo veo mucho avance porque antes no comprendía nada y ahora sí comprende cuando alguien le habla en inglés. Estoy agradecida y los recomiendo mucho a los papás que tengan niños pequeñitos. No duden en inscribirlos a Kinder porque les ayuda mucho a avanzar, a crecer. Y sí lo recomiendo ampliamente. Estoy muy contenta.
Perfect. Oh, you're muted.
Hopefully having the chance to hear it from a parent who's truly experiencing it gives you a little bit of perspective on how great a program it is, again, from a different voice other than those of us affiliated with the programs. So a little bit of specific information about Cabarrus County Schools and how you get into one of these fantastic programs. You can apply. So our actual kindergarten enrollment process started February 1st. So you're eligible to apply for kindergarten starting February 1st. And our choice applications are open April 1st through 30th. We do open them in the fall, so October through December, and then open them again just for kindergarten parents, April 1st through 30th. So applications are online. They are available, and we encourage you to apply. We do, if you live in the home zone for a school, so if you go to one of our dual language schools, you can apply later. We do fill in some of those spaces because we find that some parents don't know about this great opportunity until they get started and registered for school. So even if it's outside of the April 1st through 30th window, you may still have a chance to enroll in one of our dual language programs if you go to one of our dual language schools. So we do currently have programs for kindergarten through our actual highest group right now is the 7th grade group. And we do not, unfortunately, provide transportation unless you live within the school zone. So if you'll hit that next one, Irene, you'll see exactly where our schools that offer Spanish immersion in Cabarrus County Schools are. So we do have 6 elementary school programs, and right now we're sitting with 1 middle school program, but that is going to change very soon to add some additional middle school programming. So if you are a student who is zoned for Fur or Irvin or Weddington or Wolf Meadow, Rocky River or Winecoff, you do have a program at your home school, which means you would get transportation, but you do still need to apply because at none of those schools is every single classroom a dual language immersion classroom. So you still need to submit an application to participate. Luckily, depending on where you live, you may also have the opportunity to apply for one of those 6 schools to participate in their Spanish immersion program as well. So if you're in that April window, you can potentially apply for one of these 6 programs, and the one that you're assigned to is based on your home address.
Awesome.
All right, so the application, this is really important. The application link is right there on your screen, ccsprogramchoice.scriborder.com. You can also find it from our website, Cabarrus County Schools website, their homepage, and from the program choice page, where I'd encourage you to go and find out more information about our programming and to access the application. Or you can take the direct link, which is right there on your screen, to apply for one of our programs. It's the same source that you will use to enroll in kindergarten, and so you can submit an enrollment form and an application for dual language immersion in the same place. If you have questions about either of those, there is information both on our program choice website and on the Cabarrus County Schools enrollment website, linked to the front page of Cabarrus County Schools website. All right.
And Alan, I am so happy that you also showed us those videos of parents in both languages. And the reason why is that there's something that is magical about this 50-50 program, this two-way immersion program, where you have that is suitable for any student regardless of the language that they speak at home. Why? Because they have 50% of the time in one language, 50% in the other language. But not only that, but also they are going to be in a classroom where half of those students or a certain percentage of the students are English speakers, but other percentages are Spanish speakers, and they learn from each other. There's nothing best than peer learning. That not only makes them learn from each other, which is amazing, but also makes them so confident, and their self-confidence is boosted just because at the beginning you might not be that good at your second language, regardless of if that is English or Spanish, but you have a buddy that is your language buddy, right? That is going to help you. But when I go on the other day to my stronger language or my first language, I am the buddy, and I am the one that gets to help some other that is not as fluent as I am in that language, which is a win-win. And I think it's a great opportunity, specifically that those both languages, right? As the Spanish speaker mom was talking about how the child speaks a better language now, not only the native, but also speaks and reads not only their native language, but also the second language.
Awesome. Well, thank you for joining us. I think at this point we will take questions if there are any.